KD was struggling in this series, not playing great, and you will have just post after post of if LeBron played like this, we would hear this, that, and the other thing. But then, on a separate line of posts, there are people dumping on KD saying he's not playing well. It's just like leave other people's name out of your mouth. Just deal with what we have in front of us. KD not playing great basketball.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the issue is my thing is the whole time is I haven't been on the Kevin Durant is the best player in the league train. I've never been on that train, and I never really understood it, and this just highlighted it. But that is a natural reaction to have if you're on that boat, is that, you guys, the world would fucking explode if LeBron had this type of performance, which it did when he had the Dallas series. This is not enough heat for a guy that has mostly regarded as the best player in the NBA.
But okay, how is it not enough heat? Because
it's not enough heat.
What do you want people to do?
I want a similar reaction to the LeBron James post Dallas Mavericks series. I want that.
But what was that reaction? It was 2012, or 10 or 11.
Yeah,
but what did people do differently than now?
They fucking destroyed LeBron, man. They like what? Like that's not. It's not a comparison. The heat that KD is receiving and the heat LeBron receiving is not comparable. And it's not. But it's not. You at least have to admit it that it's not the same. It's
honestly,
different level.
I can't remember that far back. What was so different about the Heat?
It was more. It was intensified. It was as if you had watched the worst performance by a player in the history of mankind. Like every TV show, every pundit, every analyst, every fan. I mean, it was just hardcore and poured in for years and years. It's already
years and years.
Yeah, to this day.
He won a title the next 2 years.
And they still brought it up. Like the conversation is already cooled about Kevin Durant having a bad series. It's already cooled. And we're 3 days past? It's already over. Like it's already over. Like that's just not.
See, I just would disagree. This whole Nets run or like walk or stumble or whatever the fuck we want to call it, he's gonna live with this forever in his resume.
Yeah.
I mean, here's KD's career right now. He goes to OKC. He joins some young, talented core of players. They go to the finals once and lose. Harden leaves. He and Westbrook fail to gel in a way that produces a title. They lose a 3-1 lead. He abandons ship to the team that beat them and reels off a couple of titles. He
received more. You was on the roll. I had to cut you off.
I am on the roll. Don't stop the roll.
But he received more heat for going to the Golden State Warriors in this terrible performance.
But again, in context, he received a lot of heat for that. Then he received heat or just incomprehension for why leave the fucking Warriors and go to Brooklyn. Why bring Kyrie with you as your number 2 guy? He's about as reliable as a chick. That ain't good. And then you have this 3-year run where you accomplish nothing, including a first-round sweep where you played poorly. That's his resume. It ain't a great resume. Yeah. We'll look back at history and say, you didn't win a title on your own. You were a dangerous piece to help Steph Curry win more titles. That's what you were.
In comes Charles Barkley.
Enter the fat man.
He says that the life is different when you're driving the bus.
Yeah.
That was his comment. Life is different when you're driving the bus. And then KD, of course, he barked back because, on Twitter and Instagram, he's going to say something back all the time, even if you're a regular fan. All right. And he was just saying basically how Barkley, was on all these super teams as well. And this is where I separate, because I'm a fair guy. Now I separate, and I have to take KD's back on that. I've been a staunch fucking screaming at the top of my lungs about I don't know how no one points out the hypocrisy. Charles Barkley sits up there and just fucking acts like he's like. Of course, we know he hasn't won any championships, but Charles Barkley entered the greatest one of the greatest situations you could possibly be in.
Which was what?
He caught the 76ers on the end of top 5 greatest teams to ever assemble, right? And he caught those guys at the end of their prime. So he's coming in as a rookie, a highly regarded rookie, and he's in the locker room with all of these great players who are at the end of their prime. You know what I mean?
Right, that's not a great thing.
That is, because he's getting to learn. His greatest story is from Moses Malone.
Yeah, I know the story, but
without Moses Malone, Charles Barkley's probably out of the league in 5 years. He's his words.
Could be.
Nobody else.
Okay,
his words.
Fair enough.
Right? And everyone talks about the greatness of having great older veterans on your team, but these are great older veterans that was at the top of the league. You know what I mean? So that's a great situation to be in. And he's going to take over the reins. It's on him to take over the reins and to go to the team from there. Once those guys retire and leave or whatever, Moses got traded. He demands a trade to get out of Philadelphia. To do what? Form a super team over there. Then he forms another one. He leaves, you know what I'm saying? Houston, Phoenix.
With the indomitable Dan Marley.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? He forces his way out of situations just like these guys are doing, just like James Harden, Kevin Durant, whatever. So what are you even talking about, Charles? You know what I mean?
See, I disagree.
He wasn't driving no bus over there in Houston. He wasn't driving a bus in Houston. He wasn't driving the bus in Phoenix.
He did drive the bus in Phoenix.
Nah, he didn't drive the bus.
He drove the bus in Phoenix.
Well, he drove it fucking down the ditch. I mean, Kevin Durant drove this bus in Brooklyn.
Well,
he was driving the bus.
Charles Barkley's Phoenix bus got further than Durant's Nets bus.
Oh, fucking that it doesn't.
But see,
amount to anything.
You're undermining your own point because we're here to trash KD.
I'm not here to trash KD. I'm not here to trash KD. I'm just saying he's not the best player in the league.
But no, you wanted the same level of venom directed at him now that was directed at Lamar.
Yes.
But by going on the tangent about Barkley, we lose the mustard.
No, you don't lose the mustard.
Here's my thing. Going back to KD, focus on KD.
Yeah.
He's a terrific offensive player, an absolutely elite, all-time great offensive player. He's not, to me, a great two-way player. He's not crap on defense, but he's not a two-way player. His biggest problem is he does not have the personality and the character to carry a team and drive the bus. It's not who he is.
Yeah.
And that will never change. He's been in the league long enough, and it will never happen. He will always have to be the number 2 guy to somebody that has the character to carry an organization. And it goes back to the burner accounts and the like real champions, real bus drivers don't do that stuff.
So
it's not in their DNA, but it's in his. And he's got a level of just weird insecurity and pettiness. And again, responding to Charles Barkley, like that's just what it is. And that's who he is. And like that's his legacy.
Right.
He cannot carry a team there. He cannot pick a running mate other than going with the Warriors, who already had an established culture that he just became a hood ornament on. And that's what it is for KD.
So
take him out of the top 10 or 15 all time.
Yeah.
Completely.
You have to.
Because he's not that guy.
And I was hoodwinked as well as far as how superior he is on offense, like as far as the best offensive player of all time. I used to put him in those conversations. But it's not fair because KD he doesn't show the killer gene a lot. They say that about LeBron James a lot, but to be as an effective scorer as he is, he's always low volume effect, and then that's awesome, right? If you could get 30 off of whatever 10 to 12 shots, that is awesome. But if your team is losing, why not go for 60, 70
if that's what your team needs.
Of 20 shots, if that's what your team needs. And he's never
But I mean,
that.
here's the bigger fault. It's not even the on-court stuff. It's
no.
stuff.
You're right. Character, leadership.
Not
being able to carry
not
team.
being able to gel with
for sure.
a prime Westbrook. Not being able to, like, man, why was he not the guy that got Harden and Kyrie in a room and figured this shit out this year?
Yeah.
Because it's not who he is the obvious answer.
Yeah.
But a real leader would have got those people in a room and figured this shit out.
Yeah.
Kyrie, go get vaccinated. You ain't leaving the room till we got. I got a fucking guy with a needle now. And Harden, you came here to do something. Are you going to do it or not?
Yeah.
You got whatever, one more year in your contract. You're good to go after this. But the three of us are going to get this shit done.
Facts.
And that's just not who he is. And he'll never be that guy. So to me, I mean, he's no higher than maybe 15th all time.
And what about in today's game?
I have a tough time. There's a lot of flux. I mean, resume wise, I take LeBron over him. I take Steph Curry over him. Giannis is on his way to surpassing.
No, so
him.
I don't want resume. I don't want resume.
What do you want? Who's active player right now?
The best basketball players in the league right now. Where does Kevin Durant rank today?
Maybe 6 to 8.
Ooh, that's a hard fall.
Well, I mean, I put Giannis ahead.
Yeah.
I put present moment Joel Embiid ahead. I put Steph ahead. And his argument for Jokic.
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic, good, bad, or otherwise, he does what he does.
Yeah.
LeBron's tough based on what he did this year. I don't know. And then you got John Morant.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. I think I want to put Luka ahead of him too. Is that going too far?
I don't know.
Is that going too far? I don't. I wouldn't put Ja over Durant though. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put Ja, but I think I would put Luka over Durant. I think I would, and that would land him at 5th for me.
Well, the one thing, and I'll say this with Ja, he's embracing it all.
Yeah, he is, and we're going to get
He's
the
trying to be that guy.
We're going to get
and even the gesture of giving the award to Desmond Bain.
Yeah,
like that's the
things.
off court stuff.
Those are the things
that
man.
matters.
Those are the things.